What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. Y'all, I promise when I make the content that I make, I'm never trying to come off like I'm soul brother number one or I'm the most conscious brother to ever walk this earth, right? Because there are things that I don't know. There are things that I'm not, topics that I'm not well versed in, and I will openly admit that, right? There is work that I have to do on myself as well. So I'm not trying to act like I just know everything and I'm just the most conscious brother to ever walk this earth. However, when I see things that are blatantly off code, when I see people blatantly disrespecting black folks, when I see people throwing our people under the bus, I'm going to speak about it, right? I'm not going to hold my tongue. I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to give it to you like no chaser. For real, right? Who am I talking about what am I discussing? I'm talking about an individual by the name of Kwame Brown. Kwame, like, he irks me. He annoys me. Seriously. Kwame is a MAGA shield. Seriously. Like, he never will criticize anything that the MAGA crowd does. He will never criticize Donald Trump for anything he does, right? He really want to be like Donald Trump. He want to move like Donald Trump and be able to do and say things without any repercussions. He wants to have the same type of power Donald Trump has, but he doesn't realize your black ass will never have that power like that. You will never be able to do things and just move like that unscathed and do the stuff and say the stuff Donald Trump says, you know? But he want to be just like Donald Trump. So anyway, after Charlie Kirk was unalived, you know, y'all know Charlie Kirk, right winger. I'm talking about extreme, like he was speaking a whole lot of rhetoric that you would say, hey, no, this is white supremacist rhetoric. For real. You know, Charlie Kirk is a man who had no love for black folks for real. Right? They can say, oh, he did. No, he said a lot of disrespectful things about my people. A ton of hateful things about my folks, right? But Kwame Brown gets on his YouTube channel and tries to chastise black folks about how we should respond to the death of Charlie Kirk, how we should respond to his unaliving, telling us all type of stuff. Like, it's just the way he was talking, man. He on there telling us, you know, it's not a black or white thing. It's not. It's not, Kwame. I beg your pardon. Well, tell me what it is. Because Kwame gonna say it's a human decency thing. And if we're talking about human decency, if we're talking about being a good human and a good person, Charlie Kirk was not a good person. He wasn't. He spoke a lot of harmful, hateful rhetoric towards a lot of people, a lot of different groups of people. Telling black folks we was better off during slavery. Telling black women they don't have the brain power to process things the way that they should, basically, right? To be in certain positions. Calling black women DEI hires, right? Basically putting a blanket over black folks as the most violent people in the world right now, or in America. Talking to every time, going on college tours, talking about how violent black folks are. How we just violent gang members and we just, you know, more inherently criminal than other groups of people, etc. Speaking that type of rhetoric over our people, right? But Kwame Brown is out here telling us we need to be more empathetic to him all around. We need to be more empathetic. He telling us, you know, what if it was your family? Picture this was one of your loved ones, right? He was like, he said, I'm going to put up his quotes. This is what he had to say about Charlie Kirk. He said, and I quote, he didn't even come aggressive to anybody. He would just pull up to hear your opinion on things. Nobody deserves to die over words. Well, Kwame, how rich? Because a lot of our folks died over, well, a lot of our people died, our leaders died over more than just words. But people hated them for the words that they spoke and wanted to unalive them for the words that they spoke. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, right? They wanted to unalive our leaders for the things that they spoke. But, nobody deserves to die over the thing, over words. And then he in there talking about, Tyler Robinson took a father and a husband who didn't want violence on anybody. Are you sure, Kwame? Are you sure Charlie Kirk didn't want violence on anybody? He cheered the deaths of Palestinians. Seriously, he justified school shootings. He supported genocide. He believed innocent kids in Palestine deserved to die. Right? So he didn't want violence on anybody? Are you sure you know what you're talking about, Kwame Brown? You are such a MAGA. You put your cape on for MAGA so much that you don't want to see the real. Trying to tell black, it's not a black or white thing. Man, he disrespected Dr. Martin Luther King, talking about Dr. Martin Luther King like he wasn't nothing. It's not a black or white thing. You had him mocking the death of George Floyd, mocking the death. So to act like, he was just a man that just came in total peace, you can't speak chaos. You can't speak chaos and be a man and be a man of peace. You can't be an agent of chaos and act like, and say that a person is just, they don't want no harm on nobody. They just want to hear your opinions. And I hate when people try to minimize what Charlie Kirk was saying, his hate speech, try to minimize that as just a difference of opinion. And I seen black folks saying that goof ass shit. It was just a difference of opinion. Fam, no. Telling black women they don't have the brain processing power to critically think and handle certain situations. What? That's not a difference of opinion. Painting black folks as criminal, as just violent animals, is not a difference of opinion. And Kwame, your black ass should know better. Especially, brother, you a Southern black man. You didn't been around in Confederate flags flying high. Kwame on his video telling people, no good, decent person would want death like that for anybody. Well, also, no good, decent person would say the things that Charlie Kirk was saying about black folks. No good, decent person would cheer the deaths of Palestinians. No good, decent person would justify school shootings. No good, decent person would support genocide. No good, decent person would believe innocent kids in Palestine deserve to die. No good, decent person would spew hate rhetoric towards black women and act like they just dumb and they don't act like they're inferior. No good, decent person would say that black folks was better off during slavery. We was committing less crime during slavery. Like, are you kidding me, bro? You trying to talk about good, decent people? And in reference to Charlie Kirk, to protect Charlie Kirk and his image? Are you serious, bro? He's a clown. Kwame is the biggest clown, one of the biggest clowns on YouTube, right? He talking he doing I'm about to go in on him. He's a hard shoe nocturnal animal. You know what nocturnal animal I'm talking about. He's a hard shoe, step and fetch it. Nocturnal animal. Kwame is a nocturnal animal. You know which one I'm talking about. You know what animal only come out at night in all the neighborhoods around America. Kwame's one of them individuals, right? And when he first got on YouTube, he tried to act like he was for the brother man, right? Because he got into it with Stephen A. Smith, and it was cool. Okay, defend your name, defend your honor, right? You mad at Matt Barnes, you mad at Steven Jackson for playing with your name. Defend your name. I had no problem with that, right? But then it got off. He said he was there. He was in the YouTube space to basically put all these other black journalists in place for denigrating black men, right? I'm here to put these journalists in place for denigrating black men. Those journalists who talk foul on other black men in the sports world, I'm here to put an end to that and act like he was a crusader for black folks. Then you get on your whole YouTube channel, you get on YouTube shitting on LeBron James, trashing LeBron James every single day. A man who said nothing about you, a man who's done nothing to you, right? Trashing LeBron James all day long, but I thought you were here to not denigrate black athletes, especially a man that ain't done nothing to you. And I'm telling you why he went after LeBron James. Because Kwame is MAGA coded. And MAGA folks hate LeBron James. They hate his guts. They despise LeBron James. They hate LeBron James because LeBron James does not like Donald Trump. LeBron talked that black stuff. He speaks out against speaks up for black folks and uses his voice to talk about black issues. I'm not saying LeBron is Malcolm X. I'm not saying LeBron is Dr. Martin Luther King. So before y'all goofy start coming in the comment section, you act like LeBron is Malcolm X. He's no Dr. Martin Luther King. He's not Muhammad Ali. No. But LeBron openly, as the face of the NBA that he's been for the last 15 plus years, he has staunchly come out and spoke about black issues. Not every single one, but a lot of times when black folks was dying unjustly to law enforcement, LeBron James was speaking about it on social media, in interviews, right? Out loud, proud. He was saying it all, talking about it all the time, and the MAGA folks hated him for that. They said, why can't you be like your predecessors who just shut up and dribble? Right? So Kwame knew that if he threw shots at LeBron James, he could build up his MAGA following. He can get the MAGA crowd to support him. He knew that. That's why a lot of you brothers that hate LeBron James, y'all make them LeBron hate channels, then want to figure out why the fuck the MAGA crowd over there loving you. Why when you try to talk about other issues in the black community and when you try to call out systemic racism, you try to figure out why are your subscribers, why are they providing you with so much pushback? Where did these people come from? All that LeBron hate does is bring around the MAGA crowd like a motherfucker. For real, right? But let's get to the crook. Let's get to the nooks and crannies of all of this. So he get on YouTube, he trashing LeBron James every day. And I always told you Kwame's a coward because for all that smoke he got for LeBron James, he never talked about the individuals who made his life a living hell. Michael Jordan made Kwame's life a living hell. And he's still scared to say something to Michael Jordan to this day. Not because he's scared of backlash from Michael Jordan. He knows his followers, his subscribers will turn on him the moment he starts talking about how Michael Jordan was punking him and hoeing him every single day. And Kwame get on YouTube and act like he's a certified gorilla, like he King Kong, like he just King Tut, like he just the most gorilla dude in the world, and is still afraid to upset the Michael Jordan fan base Michael Jordan fan base is half stand-up individuals, half MAGA like a motherfucker. The Ku Klux Klan love Michael Jordan dirty draws, right? And he's afraid to, especially in comparison to LeBron James, they love Michael Jordan. He's afraid to say anything about Michael Jordan, even though Michael was hoeing him and punking him and pulling his whole card on a regular basis. He's not going to go at Michael Jordan because he knows his subscribers will turn on him the moment he does it. He will upset the MAGA apple cart. Same way Kobe Bryant was hoeing him too. Kobe was punking him every day too, and he knows that you cannot speak against Kobe Bryant right now. He know that in comparison to LeBron James, the MAGA crowd loves Kobe Bryant in comparison to LeBron James. They will champion Kobe before they ever champion LeBron James. And it ain't for basketball reasons like they try to make it seem like it is. It's because LeBron is black-coded like a mug. Black-coded heavily. From who his wife is to Rich Paul and all the black folks around him. And how Rich be out here getting a lot of them black brothers paid mega millions. But let's get back to the point, right? Because Kwame telling black folks, he said anybody who's celebrating Charlie Kirk's death is a despicable person, and they have a hot place in hell for you. This man's speaking hellfire on black folks for talking about Charlie Kirk, right? Anybody who's celebrating his death is a despicable person, and they have a hot place in hell for you. Kwame speaking hellfire on black people. Hellfire on black folks for talking about the man who Charlie Kirk really was. He's speaking hellfire. He's upset. He's pissed off, right? And I'm looking at Kwame. You got all this smoke for LeBron James, another black man who ain't done nothing to you, who ain't never threw black folks under the bus, but Charlie Kirk, a man who said a great amount of things, an abundant amount of things negative about black folks. You got all this empathy for him. You trying to lay down coverage for him. You trying to lay down protection for Charlie Kirk. You trying to make sure Charlie Kirk's widow is not upset. You trying to make sure she feeling good. You trying to make sure all of Charlie Kirk's supporters are not feeling any type of negative way. You trying to make sure you trying to make sure the Charlie Kirk crowd knows you stand in solidarity with them. You got all this smoke for LeBron James, a man who ain't said nothing about you, a man that ain't never threw black folks under the bus for real, right? But Charlie Kirk, a man who has said a ton of negative stuff about black folks, black men and women, painted us as criminals, as violent animals and all of that. You got all this protection for Charlie Kirk. I wonder why. He's a MAGA shield. He ride out for MAGA. He is a champion for MAGA. He is the champion. He is a knight. He is a MAGA knight. For real. And I knew he was the moment when his channel got popping. Because see, I'm not a person that just follows somebody because they make a 1 or 2 good videos, right? Or 3 videos. I don't just say I'm all in and supporting everything you do. I got to check out, what type of rhetoric you was talking before you got popping and got hot. Because he got hot when he fired back at Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and he went at Stephen A. Smith. But the videos before he got popping, he victim shaming Breonna Taylor like it ain't nothing. He got good old boy. He's coated with good old boy rhetoric. Good old boy rhetoric. American flags flying all around him. And again, yes, our black ancestors fought in wars in every war, major war in America. Our black ancestors laid the foundation for this country without question, right? But I'm always suspicious about a brother who just got all these American flags all around him all the goddamn time. And when it ain't the Olympics, it ain't the Olympics or none of that. You got American flags all around you. Because that flag is code for something. That is code for good old boy rhetoric. That flag is, I'm a real American. I'm a real American. Real American. A lot of people use that flag as symbolism of good old boy, of the embodiment of good old boy rhetoric and good old boy ideology. For real. They use the flag to symbolize that. So when brothers got American flags all around them, I hope I didn't say Confederate, American flags all around them and all of that, I get to looking at them scratching my head. What you on? Kwame Brown got American flag sitting right up there. Well, what are you trying to get across? Then I saw his content, always talking about the leftists. He hate the left a ton, but he right-winged as hell. For real. Act like he all for black folks, but then when the right-wing MAGA folks do something incredibly racist, he don't know nothing about it. He used religion to try to get out of way of talking about it. To try to get out of talking about it, he used religion and God to try to stop talking about important issues and racism that was shown on the MAGA side of the game. I'm a God-fearing black man from the south side of Chicago, Illinois. God-fearing black man all day through and through. I'm a Christian. I identify as a Christian. But you will never see me trying to use God to stop discussions about systemic racism. You will never see me trying to use God to get out of talking about police brutality and our people being unalived in the street, right? Charlie Kirk making fun of George Floyd. Charlie Kirk supporters making fun of Trayvon Martin and Tamir Rice, black babies that were unalived, had their life taken from them. Had their life taken from them unjustly. Charlie Kirk supporters, that they were making fun of Trayvon Martin and Tamir Rice. And here you go. Why were Charlie Kirk supporters? Why were they making fun of George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, and Tamir Rice? Why were they doing that? Why were they doing that? Because they know that's the type of time their leader, Charlie Kirk, was on. And for Kwame Brown to try to lay out coverage for Charlie Kirk and trying to tell us it's not a black or white thing. Y'all, it's a hot place in hell for y'all talking about him like this. What if it was your family? What if it was my family? Y'all know how you be talking. Yeah, mama's cooking, boy. Mama's cooking. Yeah, what if it was your family? Hey, man, shut your, man. Oh, dumbass. And wearing them, boy, them damn, the Duck Dynasty clothes he be wearing. With them damn Brett Favre jeans on, the Wrangler jeans he be wearing. What, Bugle Boy polo shirts. Get your goof ass on, man. I'm sorry. He's a big, huge nocturnal animal. That's why when people be trying to lay covers for him, man, Kwame wasn't no bust. He played in the league for 12, 13 years. He was a bust. He was getting passed around like a blunt in front of the liquor store on 79th Street. He was getting passed around like a blunt in front of the liquor store on 79th Street in Chicago, Illinois. Getting passed around like a goddamn groupie in the NBA by every NBA team, because Kwame, he was not sufficient enough to be a cornerstone of a franchise. That's what the number one pick in the draft is supposed to be, a cornerstone of a franchise. Kwame was never that. So he was a bust. I know y'all want to make Kwame feel good about himself. He was a bust. I don't want to make him feel good about himself at all, because he's a butter biscuit eating Sambo. He is a supreme buck dancer. So I'm not here to make him feel good about himself. And I don't care about him feeling good about himself. You were a bust, brother. You did not live up to expectations at all. And you a punk because you scared to call out Michael Jordan for hoeing you every single day when you were an 18, 19-year-old kid. But you got all this smoke for LeBron James, a man who ain't never did nothing to you and never said nothing bad about you. Right? All this smoke he be having for black dudes in general. Kwame be having all this smoke for black dudes, but a white guy like Charlie Kirk, who talked that, white nationalist talk, white nationalist talk, who talked that talk, that anti-black rhetoric. He got no smoke for Charlie Kirk. He want to give Charlie Kirk the biggest empathy. He want to give him the most empathy out of everybody. He got more empathy for Charlie Kirk than he do for black men who ain't done nothing to him. How rich is that? He got more empathy for Charlie Kirk than he do empathy for other black men who ain't done nothing to him. Charlie Kirk talking disrespectfully about Martin Luther King Jr., about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. For real. Talking disrespectful like crazy. They trying to put Charlie Kirk in the same conversations with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. What? Trying to act like it was just a difference of opinion he had. No. And y'all know better. Black dudes like Kwame, your black ass know better, bro. You know better. Trying to tell us, y'all need to stop doing it. It's not a black or white thing. No Christian wants death for anybody. Well, tell that to Charlie Kirk. He identified as a Christian, but he justified school shootings and deaths in school shootings. He cheered the deaths of Palestinian folks. So he should have known that. You should have been telling him, no Christian wants death for anybody. No good, decent person would want death like that for anybody. Anybody that's celebrating this is despicable. It's a hot place in hell for you. He want hellfire on black folks for not being empathetic to Charlie Kirk.